I will join in on my computer if you move me again. I will join in on my computer if you move me again.
I think he said he's
I
joining
will
his computer.
join in on my
Yep.
Okay.
Stream intermission. Yes. Good. Yeah. But also, if you have other points that you want to say or shoot, and you don't want to say it in the chat, you can use our private Discord chat that we have. Okay, Jimmy is back. Alright, let's start this up. Nope, not here. Yes, here. It was already online. I think, yeah, we were already talking. I think. Jimmy, can you check on the YouTube if things are running smoothly? If the sound is okay, the voice is okay, just if everything is working.
I'm asking my platoon also. I got some guys watching.
Awesome. And then they can also respond in the chat. Let's see. Yes, it's running. The sound is a bit off. Okay, the sound is off. At least for Verage. Okay, what is off? What is off? Very soft. Okay, very soft microphone. Quickly checking. 1, 2, check, check, check. 1, 2, 2, check, check. Oh, because it's the wrong microphone. Give me a second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Microphone testing, microphone testing. That is better. Okay, I can go a little bit louder. Move louder. There we go. Good, good, good. Welcome all, welcome all. I was also very silent talking. Usually I'm a little bit more of a screamer. You can ask Lisa. No, I'm not. I'm quiet. We have some people here this evening. We're going to do a mic check to see if all the mics are coming through good. I'm going to get my list here. So we have me. You all know my voice. I will be doing probably most of the talking again. So I was a REPA company commander. We have Peter, who was also a REPA company commander. Peter, say a few words.
Hello, radio check or mic check.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. Then we have Jimmy, who was a REPA platoon commander under Papa Company. Say hi, Jimmy. Or not. Okay, no, Jimmy. We'll see. We'll see what if he jumps in again. Then we have Antonio for Coalition Platoon Commander. Say hi, Antonio.
Hello. Hello from across the pond.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was platoon commander for Charlie, a.k.a. the Swampers.
That's right. There's a 6-hour time difference, correct?
7 hours. So it's 1 p.m. right now.
All right. Thank you for joining in, by the way.
Currently at work, but we're still going strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna, if I click this, no, I need to go to my other chat. Hold on, people. Where's my other tab? Where's my Chrome? There it is. No, let's see if this works. I'm highlighting a question that somebody asked, so we're gonna see if it works. And then I need to close some windows again. And then we have Wolf, who was a coalition platoon commander, correct?
Hello, yes. Preacher name in Berget. I was platoon commander for Lima Foxtrot on the blue side.
All right, thank you. And then we have Angie for the nuns. Say hi, Angie.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
There we go. And then we have Nicholas, who was part of the Raider unit.
Hello.
And Nicholas, your microphone is silent. It's quite low.
It's silent.
Yeah. Let me see if I can up it up a little bit. There we go. I put you on 150% right now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we have people from the red side, the blue side, well, Repa forces, coalition forces. We have the civilians, the nuns, and we have the raiders. We did try to get some yellow company commanders or platoon commanders because they didn't really have a company commander. And we also tried to get crew on board. So they might be in the chat. Hopefully they are following up. And I don't know what all the crowns and stuff is doing. And I never use this. But it says pling, pling, pling a lot. But welcome all. This evening we're going to talk about Berget 21, which just happened last week. And we did this last year also. We talked about all kinds of different things. People had questions about stuff that happened. And hopefully in this live stream we can talk about it. And we can, top fans. We can discuss about stuff that people had questions about and clear that out. So we are all ready for the new one at Berget 2022, which we are all very curious about because it's going to be hopefully a new site and there's going to be a lot of new things coming. It's a new storyline. This one is ended. So yeah, a lot of things that we are going to talk about. There's one quick thing that I need to check on my live stream because I noticed that the question overlay is not working. I'm quickly going to check overlay. Oh yeah, I know why. Give me 1 second so I can fix that in my Chrome. There, no, the other one. Yeah, I don't do this that much. So it's always a little bit of searching. You know what? The questions will not be popping up because I don't know where to find it. Copy link. I should be able to copy my link. And it's not working. I popped it out, yes. Pop out chat. Yes, I got it. Copy overlay link. There is so much stuff. Where is it? Oh, right. I need to be here. That's why I didn't find it. And that's probably why it didn't work. Overlay. There we go. Overlay. Alert box. Oh, all right. It's gonna be without the overlay. I don't find the overlay thingy, but well, we will make it work anyway. All right. Sorry for the delay. So for all the people here, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I have the option to read them and follow up on them, and we're gonna go over those questions later in the chat if we are discussing something else. So if you have a question for blue side, yellow side, red side, crew, doesn't matter, we're going to discuss it here. I have a few things prepared. So as you can, we have a preparation, up orders, the playbook, some other stuff, not that one, some blogs that I made for different Bergets. So let's get into it. The first thing that I want to hear from the people here is, how did you experience Berget? So first we're going to go for the blue side. We have two people from the blue side, the coalition forces. How did you experience Berget as a group and as a person, like as a blue force, and then you as a commander? How did things go from start till finish in a short combine, like a small sum up, if that is possible? So Antonio, how did you, Antonio and Wolf, how did you experience the coalition side?
Well, it was my first Berget and first time also being any type of commander, whether that's squad or platoon. It was definitely a little nerve-wracking when I first arrived. It was like, oh man, I got to step up. But throughout the days, it got easier, and I had a great support from my platoon. But at least for our platoon, we started off a little slow, but then ramped up. So by Friday afternoon, everything was great. And at least from my experience, it was really good.
Okay. Did you guys went out on the Saturday also? Or just...
No, most of us were packing up. A lot of our guys had to either leave early or just lot of stuff to pack up. A lot of stuff was wet from the night before. So before packing up, we wanted to just dry as much as possible before either hopping in our cars or hopping on a plane to leave.
Yeah, which is understandable because it is a long way to go. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying some chat things, but it didn't work anyway. Wolf, how did you had the same experience, or was it a little bit different for you people?
Right, so this was my third Berget and my second as platoon commander. We had very little information from HQ getting up to Berget, and they were not giving us any information during the game either, like as the 1/3, 2/3 rule, for example, would have been good. Other than that, I had 19 men in my platoon, was supposed to be 30, so I had issues with manpower. Solved that though. Had a good experience overall, and it was a lot of news. That's it for me.
All right. We will talk about the HQs in a little bit because of the preparation and how things go on the side. I noticed that there's a big difference on sides on how they deal with things, how they put commands, how they prepare stuff. So that's why I'm very curious about how it went on all the sides. By the way, I did manage to get the text working while we were talking, and apparently Antonio is quite loved in the chat. I see a lot of love to Antonio for Taxi. You did amazing, Antonio, Tony. So yeah, there's a lot of love for Antonio in the chat, which is really nice because this is what I love about Berget. It unites a lot of people, and what I didn't like on the previous years before I started doing this live stream was that there is like a, I don't want to say conflict between the two sides, and people look weirdly to the other side because they don't know what happened on the other side, and that's why I wanted to do these live streams, because then you can notice that, oh, it's also people just wanting to have a good time. And this year I felt it was really good. Each time we met people in the field, the vibe was really good fight, good shot. It was really nice. So that was really nice, and more people. Missing Antonio, by the way. Some hearts and some love. So really nice. Then I want to go to Niklas for the Raiders. How did it go for you guys?
This year, this is my second year as Raiders also. This year was more relaxed. Not very much information from crew. We had like totally maybe 3 missions. Last year we had every day, kind of. This year our information was like none, and we had to improvise very much.
So there were no missions coming in from crew then? Was it different than last year that you made your own missions, or just Berget Crew gave you more missions?
Berget gave us more missions last year. And we didn't have internet connections or nothing where we lived.
Oh yeah, because you were in the north side, right?
Yeah, red base last year.
The old red base. Because what happened this year was, because of the lower number of players on the blue side and the yellow side, they decided to combine the base in the south. And then we didn't know that the Raiders, I heard later that the Raiders were in the north, and then civilians were somewhere around CP5, which was north of the Repa side. But that is a long way, and we know there is no reception at there. There is nothing there, and it's a long way down.
Last year we lived between yellow and blue.
Yeah, and I think for a faction that should be an NPC, should be a mission-giving faction, it should not be that far off. So that was a little bit surprising that those factions were that far off to be able to mingle in the fights and do some LARPing, especially with blue and yellow, which was like all the way on the other side of the map. But I did see you guys a few times in the red base with the Norwegian car.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. And no missions on. Did you guys were out on the Saturday? Because I think I only saw civilians on the Saturday. I don't know if I saw raiders.
Saturday, yes, we were with the red team.
Oh, okay.
We were in the front.
Okay. Then you were okay. Then I because that was also something weird that happened this year. Usually the raiders and the civilians they get different armbands. So there is the white green for the civilians, and there is the black white.
Last year we had both.
Yeah, so you can switch, and if you were wearing the black white one, you were a raider, and if you were wearing the green white one, you were a civilian and to be treated as a civilian, or to sneak in as a civilian and then change to raider. I don't know the specific, but if we saw black white, it was raider. And this year you got mingled into with the civilians, which also calls in if you guys did something wrong. We were like, well, civilians are doing something wrong. We're shooting civilians now. So that was, I don't know if you guys noticed that a lot, but I think the civilians noticed that most because they were not doing anything wrong, but they just got caught in the crossfire, I think.
Yeah, we got it too from the Norwegians when they had some shits and giggles.
So yeah, so you rather have your white and black armband again for as raiders, for example?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna write some stuff down. Also, I think most of you already filled in the survey, and if you didn't, don't forget to do it because feedback is important to make a better game and give that feedback to Berget. Because the black and white armband was very confusing for us that it wasn't a black and white one. All right, thank you, Nicholas. Then we go to Angie. And for the nuns, which was surprising. How did it go for you guys?
Oh, I had a blast.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We kind of like got in there, expected like 20 people. We were 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to make the best out of it, pretty much.
I think most people that encounter Lisa saying love to the nuns. I think most people that encountered the nuns, it was a good experience. I did notice that it was a little bit tricky because of your characters changing, but I think most of the people really worked with it.
Yeah.
Our boys got blessed by the nuns. Our machine gunner got blessed, and we got holy water, and it definitely saved us on Wednesday night.
Well, I also got blessed a few times by the nuns. And then the chat is apparently going pretty good on the nuns. Hello from Norway. Dutch Phoenix got his machine gun blessed. The holy water, people loved it. And some people drank the holy water. So apparently nuns had fun. And the whole story around the nuns showed how a civilian faction can drive a game. And I think that the previous games that we were missing, the nuns were the center of everything. The big missions were surrounding the nuns. We had people to talk to. We didn't know what to expect because, well, for Red Den, we knew people got killed and the nun was hiding in the monastery. We needed to find that. But just the interactions with the nuns and nobody really knowing what to expect from them, for me personally, that was a really good experience and a fun experience. So I think you guys did a really good job. And for people in this chat or in the voice, if you have a different opinion, please let me know. Because like I said, there can be very different opinions on how you encountered and how you experienced the civilian factions. So I don't know if on the blue side, I think Wolf or Antonio, I don't know who answered because I have to get familiar with your voices. You guys had
it was me.
Well, that didn't help me.
Oh, sorry.
No, so yeah, that's really good to hear. Then I'm quickly gonna go to the red side. Well, you had already had my voice, and I'm gonna go to Peter, which was the other infantry company commander. How did it go for you guys?
Yeah, I would say that the overall feeling was very, very nice. I mean, it was a good experience. This is my second Berget and the first as a company commander. And I also want to give a shout out to the civilians. I have a few encounters. There was some guy from National Geographic that wanted to take photos of us digging up the hill. So that was very fun. There was some exotic birds apparently. So these kind of encounters are real. They're funny. They bring life. They bring a story and life to the game. So I appreciate it. I think it's a really fun element. So that's a good big shout out to the civilians. Yeah, I guess in general we kept the manpower that seemed to be happy enough. There was enough preparations for everything, and the rest we knew was ad hoc or reactive action. So which worked. It worked well. There were no really hassles with anything really. No major stuff that will hinder us in any way or lower the experience, so to speak. So it was a good experience.
Ah, good. I also had a lot of fun playing with Eagle, and I see that who was in the Tommy is also in the chat. Show them what Eagle goes for. So there's a lot of Eagles in the chat at the moment.
Yes, fan club.
Then I go to Jimmy, who was let's say platoon commander in the Papa unit. We had a very weird structure this year, but it worked. So I'm curious on your feedback, Jimmy.
Yes. Yeah, it was a different way to handle a platoon. I wasn't a platoon leader, but I had a platoon leader authority. So we just choose that the team leaders will handle their teams, and I will just give out the orders without giving the orders because we give them the orders together. Yeah, it was confusing. But yeah, the Berget in all, it was really fun this year. It was my 8th Berget and 5th on red side. I think it went pretty smooth. It was hard the first night, as last time we were in the middle base and start the game with just surrounded everywhere. But yeah, the Friday was nice, the Thursday was nice, and the Saturday it was a disappointment. The whole team and the whole platoon were excited to just get some BBs at the monastery, and then no one was there. But I think everyone kept their morale up, and
yeah,
we walked all to the end.
Yeah,
so I'm proud of the Papa. I had a real blast this year.
That's really good to hear, and it's I think a trend that I hear with a lot of people. Can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people had a good time, and usually there's a lot of like some bullshit going around, like, oh, this was shit, this was bad. But now if I talk to people, most of them had a good time. If they left, it was because of the rain or not getting the correct orders. But the game itself, like the fights, the people, that was nice. The overall vibe, and I do understand like there was some problems in the blue side and yellow side getting missions out and stuff. So, but overall, people had a good time, and if you follow the chat now a little bit on the channel on YouTube, there's a lot of funny stories coming, raising like even though there was problems with the command and stuff like that, the people had fun with the nuns in a respectful way. I think they fucked us over more than we tried to annoy them. So yeah, that was really good. Even if leadership was failing in the field, there was a big joy and good fights on both sides. And then Cut Payne is here. He is the leader of the Raiders armored car, so that's the Norwegians. I heard on Saturday civvies were moving blues through our base in their vehicle. Let's talk about that later. The nuns were awesome, says Twitless. Does Angie still see butterflies? Do you still see butterflies, Angie?
Oh yeah, all the butterflies.
Hangman said there was an Italian guy who was rage quitting and went back to base because he thought someone didn't call the hits.
Oh yeah, that was on Friday. He got really pissed.
Was it Reaper?
Yeah. It was the guys in Papa. We were fighting against the people he thought didn't call their hits, but we had problem with them. Just fighting with them in a hard way.
Yeah.
For like 2 hours, and he come there, can't hit them, and got really pissed off. They were dig down really good.
Yeah. The famous rocks. It was unicorns the none were seeing, says Bal. All right, let's quickly go to a next topic. And I want to quickly go over, well, quickly, we all know how Mike quickly goes. We want to go over the prep work. So I don't know if, and then specifically for blue players and civilians and raiders, if you have an idea on how Repop prepares for Berget. Because there were some...
No, I don't.
Your videos last year.
Good. It was almost the same. And the reason that I share those videos is because it is interesting information for HQ to learn from how you're doing things, and we constantly adapt things to make it work, and we try to new things, and then we skip things that didn't work. Okay, they're still talking about Bal loving the holy water. So now there is no OPSEC anymore. I don't know if there is HQ following this, and if you don't want me to show this, well, it's too late. It's on the screen. So this was the preparation for the REPA side. I don't know. I'm gonna go over the different elements. It's usually the same thing. We have our HQ, we have our companies, we have how we prepare our players. Okay, there you go. Lisa HQ is in here, but she's also gaming, so we can do it quickly so she doesn't notice it. We have our radio procedures, we have the base map and how we prepared for that, and I have another Miro board to go over that a little bit more. We have a guard dude setting and some other stuff. So if you go from the top, we have REPA. Then we have our HQ, which consisted out of 3 people, which was, well, we can actually go in really deep, which is Igoris, which was our main commander. And HQ said that it is fine that I show this. So then we have Rhythm as second in command and Skinny Bitch Lisa as third in command. Then we had a base officer, which the sole task was to make sure that the base was okay.
Om det inte är okej.
Say again.
I think that was a separate discussion.
Okay. But you can, if you have questions, stop me, interrupt me. Otherwise, I will just go over it. So we had the base officer, which basically was what it says. He was in control of the base.
Det här är till dig.
All right. Let me see if we have a conversation going.
Jag har gjort så bra jag har kunnat.
Good. Can I?
Okay, I think we can mute.
De där låtarna har jag sten.
There you go.
Yes, good. That seems to be another discussion entirely, so might not for the public ears.
So I muted Wolf. If he wants to be back, I need to unmute him because I server mute him. So I don't know how to do it differently. Back on track. So we had a base officer. I went over that. Then we have PsyOps, who was in control of everything that was LARP-wise. And I really like this fact that we have a specific unit, specific person that is in charge of talking to civilians. I don't know if Blue had a specific PsyOps unit or a LARP unit to...
I'm not sure if we did.
Okay.
I think our HQ was, at least what we got was an Excel sheet of platoon, like sections of who's in your platoon, the commanders, and I think that was pretty much it. Nothing as extensive as this.
And Henrik is in the chat, and he says Blackbeard was your PsyOps officer.
Okay.
So he was dealing with everything in civilian-wise.
I do have to give Red cred though, because he was doing it really, really good.
He's been our PsyOps for 4-5 years now. He really likes the LARP people. He's good with people. It is an important thing because you need to get your missions. I think that's
Yeah.
my opinion. You should get your missions from civilians, from the story, and then you need this person to be very, very good to get those missions and also translate the missions to our HQ, because he's the person in between. For example, the nuns being annoying, not leaving their monastery, and then that is a mission for HQ to be able, okay, how can we fix this? What if it escalates? Do we shoot them? How are we going to deal with the aftermath of shooting nuns and stuff like that? So Red is a really, and it's really nice that you say that, he is a really good person to do this.
Yes.
And did you have an interaction with Blackbeard, Angie?
Not Blackbeard by himself, but we had this Kaiser, I think it's called.
Yeah.
He was interviewing us and trying to take care of us, the nuns.
Okay. But he was, Henrik, correct me if I'm wrong, Kaiser is the big one or the long hair one? Was it the long skinny one or the one with the beard and
Beard and hair.
beard and hair? Okay, so the smaller one. Yeah. So that's long hair. Okay, thank you. So it was there was Ball is answering that there was not really a psyops unit. It was mainly HQ doing it, which we confirmed here. And then a lot of people saying that it's the long hair. Okay, I get it. It's the person with the long hair. Thank you. So then we also had a sys unit. I think that's a communication unit, but we, like you see, we didn't really use it. Then we have our planning, and this for a lot of people this is very surprising. We start in November, we actually start in September or something with the first meeting. Then there is November ticket sale. December we have meetings, and then we have every month there is a meeting: January, February, March, April, May, June, and then along the year we have more meetings. We had lesser meetings than last year, but still we had about one meeting HQ a month. How did it go with like civilians? How far beforehand did you start preparing for this?
December or January.
Oh, okay,
But we
yeah.
had two meetings each month.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And the last month we have each weekend.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
nice. It's really good. For the nuns, that you got extra meetings, or well, because of the changes you might have got the information later?
We did not have any meetings. No.
Okay. For my group it was 2 days. Okay. That's the Norwegians. So the difference between preparation and is very different in different sides. I don't know, blue side, when did you guys got like organized, knowing who was who, which unit that you were going to play in? Was it February or May or another date? Let me see if Wolf is done talking. Oh, hold on. No, we still have Antonio here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I just wanted to know if he had something to say. Well, I didn't join, at least get my ticket fully until probably about mid-April, early April is when I finally, because I just didn't know if I was able to get the time off or anything, so I don't know if there was any meetings before then.
Mm-hmm.
But I found out probably maybe a month before about like what platoon I was in, what company, and then we got an email, or not an email, pretty much asking who's going to be the platoon leader, and then we would just send an email to HQ, and then the Excel sheet got updated, and we saw platoon commanders and company commanders, and then we had one meeting about 2 weeks before the event, just like a platoon or like a leaders meeting.
All right. Thank you. We also have HQ in the chat saying they got the job in March, and they had an HQ meeting every week.
Okay.
So that's on the HQ side. And this Miro board started in, I would say, January. Skinny can correct me if I'm wrong, because she was in charge of the Miro board. And this is how our unit, like the Repa unit, was completely built. The reason we use Miro is because it's a lot more visual than an Excel sheet. You can add colors, you can add pictures, you can move things around very easily. Like if this person needs to be somewhere else, you just take the post-it and you put it somewhere else. Lisa made a complete overlay or underlay, like the background is fixed. So this is how every company needed to fill in their units. So for Papa, we had Papa 6, Papa 7. I had a sniper element. I had a security team, or we had a security team, and we had Scylla with the big truck. We also have the flag of the country or the language that people are speaking, and then the sleeping arrangements. And then you see the same thing. We talked about a weird setup for platoon command. There is no platoon command for Papa 1. There was one for Papa 2. We decided to work on team level and then work our way up there. I'm going to make a video about that more in detail, but it was a non-conventional system that we used because I noticed that teams fall apart, platoons fall apart, and I wanted to start building it from the ground up. And it worked really well. We also had my first platoon was the platoon that was going to go out without asking questions, and then the second platoon was one that was a little bit more laid back, and that meant that the energy when we were out all together was on the same level. Can you leak this information next time before the game starts? Asking for a friend. Sure. Just join the red side and you get all the information. So we have vehicles. We know exactly how many tow launchers, AT4s people have, the language that people speak, a head count. Then our base officer is adding extra stuff for Berget communication, how many Berget tents that are needed. I think I put like 20-30 hours in Miro just fixing, looking, planning as a platoon, talking with everyone I got in contact in my platoon. So Tommy is Eagle. So I don't know if you liked the Miro, Tommy, or if it was like a burden, because for a lot of people the Miro was new. So this was Papa company, then Eagle company. They got a little bit of the leftovers. It was very hard for Peter to get in touch with people, and that's what we should push people to get in touch with people a lot easier, a lot faster, because we do have the Discord, we have a lot of communication channels, but still on site we had people like, oh, I didn't know that we had communication. Was it the same on the blue side, that it was hard to find people? So Antonio, I'm gonna direct all the questions to you now because Wolf just left, but he was attending some private stuff. So and I also have the HQ. We had like 50% not on Discord. I think that's similar to what the red side had. We were missing a lot of people on Discord and channels, but because we focused on the team leaders, the information drained down anyway, because we started at the top and we worked on team level, and then because of the way that we communicated, we already could work in a way that we will work on site. So if they have questions, they need to ask that question to the team leader. The team leader ask it to platoon commander, and then platoon commander to me, and then I'm asking it to HQ. And when you do that the whole year, or you start prepping that, it also makes it more like a muscle memory. If you come on site, you're not going to go directly to HQ. You're going to talk to the person that you have been asking all your questions to. It's a way to bond the people together, and that's why the communication is so important before the game and not if you come on site. Let me see. Dutch Charlie got 7 people random right before the assault on the ministry. Nobody knew who they were. Okay, you guys don't need more players on the red side. Come on. They went to flank. Okay. The long way. There's
that's my boys talking.
So you had a few people that were not assigned to a certain unit and just like, okay, we're here.
Yeah, Kaiser came up to us and was like, "Oh, I found 7 more Dutch guys. They're wanting to join your team." I'm like, "All right, sweet. Now we got 20 something in the platoon." So we were very happy. And then they joined us maybe for the walk to CP1, and then they disappeared. And I would be in contact with them maybe once every 5 hours, and they would tell me that they went to flank. And so then a joke came around that we had our own little Dutch special forces that all they did was just flank.
We had a few people coming in the HQ tent like, we are here. Okay, who are you? We don't know. Okay, who's your commander? I don't know. Are you on Myro? What is Myro? Okay, are you on the Discord? Discord? Okay, are you on the Telegram channels? No. Okay, who are you? And then because the Myro, it is searchable and it's very easy searchable. You just Control F and then I'll quickly go. I can show you that now. Where is it? Where is it? So this is check-in routine for all players. So we specifically, okay, I need to make it a little bit smaller because my face is in the way. There we go. This is our check-in routine for the base. It's made by, I think, 2 years ago. We started doing this. Why? Because people don't know. And it is the first thing you need to do is all players need to check in Berget and Chrono, where safe zone Berget HQ. Who is doing that? Berget Crew. The second thing they need to do is they need to check in on our base. They need to go into HQ and tell people like, hey, I am here. I'm this person. And then this year, Lisa had a list of all the people and was marking them down. So we knew exactly how many people we had on site and where to point them out because we did have the full base layout. So we could immediately point people out in a certain direction. We also had an opening time. It opens on Tuesday, and that was with our base officer, Ken. Then the third step was locate your platoon or company. That was info that you got into the Reaper HQ because they were going to say, okay, Papa is over there, Eagle is over there. Go join them and find your leader, done by base officer, and then locate your group and tent. And then you needed to check the base map, which was this base map, which was completely different because Berget put up the tents a different way, but we rolled with it and we made it work. And then the last step is, oh yeah, we had the frequency. So all people on the Tuesday and Wednesday were allowed to be on the HQ frequency for questions. So if there was questions coming in, you could use the HQ channel to ask questions. Correct me if I'm wrong. Quickly gonna go over the chat on Red Eagles. We also had some randoms from Norway showing up. They became part of my shock troops. Love them. It is usually what happens a little bit because we already have a system going on. And then if new people find, like if they arrive, we just put them in a command unit, which is easily controllable, or if they don't have any friends. And then HQ, Blue HQ, there were 7 Dutch guys that showed up at the game at 8. Who didn't even know who they were before day 2. When we were able to talk to their team leader, it was fun. They were not on Discord. Okay. And then Katja also joined in. So then we had we had 2 infantry units. So if you have questions, stop me. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep talking. We have 2 infantry companies that were about roughly 100 something more people. Then we had one more another infantry unit, but they were more bigger groups units. They were playing on more platoon level, and we were playing, the infantry was playing on company level. And we had a recon element with 1 vehicle that was going to go out night. And then we had the Bison company, which changed a few times of what they were going to do. They started off as a support unit for the other companies. They were going to make an engineer, medic, and heavy weapons unit. And then if we needed that, they were going to attach it. But because of the lower player amount of people that wanted to join that unit, it got changed into basically a smaller infantry support unit with an early deployment. And Scarlet said, I find it easier to lead guys with not big predefined friend groups. That it is an interesting comment, because I do understand where it comes from, but I do want you to specify the size, not big predefined friend groups. I do like the squad size as a a leading person. For example, Jimmy had about 10, 12 guys. We had other units from 6 guys, and that was really nice because then you could make like squads within the teams. So then you had 4 teams that were playing together, but they were led by, well, they should have been led by a platoon commander. So go a little bit deeper in the what your good size amount of people are. A big group will try to keep themselves. Any group will do that, but the bigger it is, the more independence they will try to maintain. I do disagree with that because you should get people to be part of everything, and that is a job for HQ, that is a job for planning, and that is a job to keep people involved with everything. Okay, there were people, 10, 15 man groups that just wanted to basically do whatever they want to do. And then I think it's a task personally, and I please give your opinions about that it is a task of HQ to keep everything together. I noticed as a company commander, you're more people management than tactical skill leader. The tactical skills, that is for my platoon commanders. My task was to keep people happy, keep them involved in everything, and if they are happy, they will be fighting together. That's my opinion. And then there is, in the chat, there's people talking about the size of the groups. Yeah, so the size of the groups, if they are too big, they will not listen to command. So is that a problem? Go ahead, Jimmy.
I think like it depends on the groups a lot, because we were like at least 2 bigger groups in my not platoon and 1 half-size group that were like friends and played together, and it worked really good because we just focused on, okay, what do your group want to do, and then we tried to figure out so the whole platoon could work together with the things everyone wanted to do. You need to find the sweet spot for every team then.
And that is not an easy job to do. And
oh no,
I've gotten pretty good at it as a company commander, because you need to switch off the military brain. You need to, well, I don't have any military training, but you can't fall back on military tactics. You cannot go like, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? But you need to know that beforehand, so you can, I don't want to say manipulate them in having fun.
Oh yes,
but it is kind of manipulating in them having fun. You need to find a way to talk to them on their level. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's, you need to find a sweet spot, like you said, to communicate with everybody, and everybody needs to be on the same level of why we're doing things. And if you can do that, I think people will not go rogue. If you give them a reason to do things, if you give them I saw people giving really motivational speeches to their like groups, like, we need to do this for our country, we need to do this for this, we need to do this for that, and that will keep the groups together. If you don't have any reason to do something, I think day 1 is fine, day 2 it will go all to shit.
That's what I kind of focused on, at least with my platoon. At least for when I had a little meeting right before, I don't know, maybe 2030. We just had a little meeting, like, going over what the first mission was, but I made sure to say that, like, we're here to have fun. Like, we're playing Airsoft. It's not, yes, it's milsim, but we're not military. We're out to have fun. So I always make sure that, okay, well, we've been sitting here for a while. What should we do? Do we want to go and find a way to flank and find a way to attack? Do we just want to do maybe attack red base? We ended up doing that one. It was Thursday. We're like, okay, well, we kind of don't want to sit here and twiddle our thumbs for a little bit. Let's find a way and go around, maybe through the swamps, and figure out how we can attack red base. Give a little bit more action to the guys and let them have fun. Let them do a little something what they want to do. Maybe we should attack today. And that was my biggest thing, is that, yeah, I want to do some military tactics, but also I want everyone to have fun and enjoy their time and make Berget their own.
It is interesting. I don't know, I'm going to listen to Peter also. I didn't have any time to findle with my fingers. There was always stuff coming our way. I didn't even have time to sit down properly. There was always a new thing coming in. Okay, but not like rushed. It was like, okay, we need to plan for the next phase. We already, when Papa was walking to a certain position, we already were planning for the next part, like the next 5-6 hours. So people were already like, okay, we need to discuss this. We need to talk with this. We need to talk that. I didn't have time to be like, okay, how can we attack the base this way? We have been not doing anything for a while. So this is interesting to hear. And Rim,
I think a lot of
loves,
it is also
loves swamps.
A lot of my platoon, it was also their first time. So we kind of didn't really know what to expect from Berget.
Mm-hmm.
So that could play into it. And that's something that we talked about it towards the end on Saturday at night on how to make next year a little better. So I agree with you with what you said, that planning on the next move even while we're walking.
Yeah. But then you need a very good communication system with your platoon commanders and company commanders and HQ. And HQ cannot mingle in that, because if they start mingling in your task that you need to do, it starts becoming really frustrating. And happily HQ started noticing that and learning that like, okay, just give me my task. I don't need to explain how I'm going to do it. That's my task. Let me do it. And then I talk to my platoon commanders and they do their thing. And while I'm walking, and you will see in the videos that I will post online, I was in the front too much as a company commander, but that was because the things were working. We already planned for the next steps, and then I was like, okay, I can just join the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was such a I loved it, but it was condescending. I don't know the word. You were looking down on me like, yeah, shame. Sweden was actually and apparently the communication between yellow and blue, how did that go? Antonio, did you notice, did you play with the yellows and communicate with them, or was that?
I really played with the yellows. We had a lot of support from the yellows, which was honestly pretty cool. We always ended up meeting up with them and organizing something. I know we met them on the road on one of our missions to attack the monastery. I think we're trying to link up with Foxtrot. And so we organized a plan to attack at 14:30. And on our way there, we met up with a German yellow team with a technical. And so we let them know, hey, we're doing this. What are your plans? And then eventually they came up with us, offering support. And then they hopped on our radio channel, our own little like squad radio channel that we made. And so they were in comms with us and supporting us from the road. So we had a lot of coordination between yellow, at least for my platoon.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. Because for red, it felt that blue and yellow were working together all the time. Like communication wise, it was always a mix of blue and yellow that we encountered. It was blue on the north, and then yellow came in on the east flank. There was always like a coordination between the elements. So that's why we're like, okay, there is a good communication. But now people are saying in the chat that there was not really communication, but you're also confirming that it was basically in the field. You were like, okay, we're going to do this. And then yellow was like, oh, okay, we're going to join this. You shared radio channels, which was really good. But it should have been a task for HQ to assign those tasks together. And also, like Blue HQ is in here. I don't know how on the top level, how the communication went. Did you have the same missions? Like our op orders, they got stolen by, I think, yellow. But was that also a task for blue, or was that like, okay, yellow, we have the op orders, fuck you, blue, we don't care if you got it, we have our set, now go get yours? Or it was like a combined operation? Is that
I'm not quite sure. I hope that HQ can answer some of those questions in the chat.
Okay, we're gonna wait a little bit. There's always a little bit of a delay. Blue had orders to support yellow getting the op orders. Okay. So that was a combined initiative to get our op orders. Okay. But that's good to hear. Well, it stated that they needed to support it. He didn't state how communication wise and planning wise things went. Because for I went back and went back to last year where we really sat down with all the company commanders and were like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. This year we didn't do that. I think most of the communication was like, okay, this is your area, this is your task, and figure it out with the people. So then me and Peter of Eagle Company, we had a good communication, and then on the field we communicated directly to the person that was already in there. So that communication was a little bit like Yellow should have been like was a different company in the red team. The communication wasn't directly, but on the field we had a communication going, like you said, exchanging radio channels to have that communication. And people really love the swamps apparently. Mosquitoes in Denmark are pussies. I live by a lake and they just from our perspective, okay. And then Cat Pain is, I think that was a raider. From our perspective, we helped blue and yellow individually, and they didn't always have the same objectives, but when they did, we made sure to help the team with the most cash. Okay, good. So the raiders had they saw them as two different teams, but you guys had similar missions that were combined. You were in the same base. Okay. Good. Now, see, we went a little bit off track. I don't know how we got there. Quickly go back to the monitor board. This is our player pool. This is all the people that we knew were not coming. And this is really important information. We knew exactly how many no-shows exactly. We had a rough idea of how many no-shows that we were going to have. And that is because we communicate with as many people as possible. We try to find them. We search Instagrams, Facebooks, websites to find the teams. And yes, Red had more teams that come back to Red, but so has Blue. There's a lot of same people coming, and there's a lot of new people that we need to find. The main people are the same in Red, but there's a lot of new people coming in. And the search is always, I don't like it, because you only have a nickname and a team. And then some people, let me see if I can find one. I think we have D. And there we go. Now, find that person. This is the information we have. D. E. Now, luckily, I know that person. So that the first time was very hard to find him. So apparently Yellow paid more to capture CPs. But you were allowed to spawn on each other's CP, correct? If it was blue, was yellow allowed to spawn? And if it was yellow, were you allowed to spawn on the respawn?
I don't know. We mainly just respawned at whatever we controlled, at least for blue.
Okay.
So I don't think we were able to spawn in at yellow capture points.
Okay, that sucked then. If you're working together and you're fighting over CPs at the same time. Okay, I think that should have been dealt with on an HQ level. That it was like Berget should allow this, because the map was mostly blue or red, not yellow. Like sometimes there was one CP that was yellow, but then if I read this correctly, it was civilians pressing the button because they got paid a lot of money. But then that meant that the yellows always had to walk back to base. Okay, and then Woda, who was yellow from the info I got, we were allowed to spawn on blue CPs. All right. I like the information flow. At least at certain points. Not making it better. So what else do we have on our motherboard? We have our radio frequencies, we have our base layout, the off-game parking. That's really, we have some photos of the area from the year before to show people how it looked like, what the FAD, the FAD looked like, how capture points looked like. Blah, blah, blah. And the raiders were allowed to spawn on the team that was paying the most. Okay, good. Then there was the amphibious landing, which I'm still waiting for some pictures. Then we did make a map with reference points of interest. We didn't use that. We didn't use it. It was a good idea, but we were mostly stuck in this area that I'm showing now on the screen. And we knew exactly, okay, we call it the crossroad, we call it the rocks, the river, and that was more than enough. It was a good reference point anyway. And then we have our guard duty, which I think was a awesome thing this year. I've been requesting this for a while now. What the fuck is this? Radio frequency. So every platoon had to do guard duty on the base. Papa had two shifts. Eagle had 2 shifts. Bison had 1 shift, and Dagger had another shift. Was there a base defense force on blue or yellow side, or it was just like people that are in base, you defend it?
I think we planned to have at least 1 platoon at all times. I don't know if that worked. And at one moment, my platoon, I was like, well, most of my guys are resting, but we'll take over base defense. So I let Kaiser know that, all right, you're going to have Charlie platoon. We're going to be here just in case if anything happens. Well, you guys, pretty much the rest of the team went out to attack red base. So I was like, all right, well, we will be here for any case anything happens. And we had, I think, 1 minor attack, and then we found 1 or 2 guys in the woods from your guys' recon.
Okay. That was usually how it worked on the red base, but I noticed that people are eating, they're not getting up. So with this, we had patrols going, we had fixed positions that were manned at all times, we knew how many AT weapons that were on defense, so if we needed to support that unit with more AT weapons. So that was really nice, because it was also, I'm on guard duty, I can eat, I can rest, I'm not gonna be attacking for 6 hours. This is my resting moment. I really like that. Alpha said, I was blue, I never was on base patrol. I saw some folks plant mines and hold the road on the last full day, but that was it. No CP and no controls on surrounding blah blah blah. Okay, blue also had a map with reference point that was used by some commanders. Blue didn't have base duty. It felt like a mercenary camp when we got attacked with dudes running in their underwear to fight. Yes, always.
It was hilarious.
I drove through red base between 00 and 03 every night without seeing much in the ways of defense. Well, there was always defense. So let me see. 00, I was actually in the base for defense, and I think Jimmy can confirm that he was on the road on 2 days between 00 and 03.
Yes.
So you would have bumped into our vehicle roadblock, legal roadblock far away so people can pass, but it was still a zigzag pattern. But then I also drove right into blue base a couple of times. Stealthy Fox was recon. Oh yeah, that was my sniper. He went up to the blue base and there were no patrols. Yeah, he told me that there were no patrols. I can show you that. Give me Papa Koi.
I had a picture shown of how close red got to our base and how you guys always had 1 recon literally watching us. I know on Friday night, me and 2 others in my squad or platoon decided to go out and, I don't know, do a little bit of own side quests, and apparently red knew that we were out on a walk. Like they knew when we left the base and when we came back.
So I had 3 of my guys on the I think Friday morning. That knife skill, people sitting eating breakfast, and they were. This was the information that got in at 10 in the morning. So they were sending their position, no protection. This is the moving in, free of moving, no enemies, no turrets. So all the blue areas were free, so they all scouted that. This was 10 in the morning. The enemy parking, where the vehicles were parked. Blah, blah, blah. They are blowing a horn, so they know. So this was really detailed information. Then we got pictures from tents. The tents of our recon guys. Well, this was our guys sending pictures from the blue base, how it looked. And then we were going to attack the base. Oh, damn. I look back at the chat. There's so much text. Give me a second. They are 5 meters away from the first tents, looking there, and then they died. So at 11, they went in and they charged and they took some pictures. So that was really, really nice. They stayed there the whole night. And apparently the blue ones were super friendly with them after they knife killed them. So that was really cool. So that's, yeah, we always had people around, surrounding my sniper, Stealthy Fox. I tasked him. He wanted the mission. I was like, well, go kill the commander. He was like, okay. And he went. He came back. He didn't make it. Next time you need to do it. But he had fun. The hangman said, I was lying in my bed scrolling Reddit and got knife killed. So that's really cool. Because we had an attack coming and then there was a drop and stuff like that. Quickly going to the up orders. So I don't know, this is Berget is giving up orders and we changed them into like primary missions, secondary missions. So we needed to find the assassin. We needed to deny the beach landing, which Yellow was leading, landing there. Some other stuff, capturing CPs, destroying the enemy FAD. For Blue Command, can you confirm that you didn't have an FAD for the game up till Friday afternoon? Because apparently there was no FAD active. I don't know if anybody knows about that. Let me know in the chat. And then capture points. This was actually a really fun mission. Our HQ needed to be in the lake between 9 and 10. So snipers could shoot them. This was not thought through about Berget, in my opinion, because from 9, the base cannot be attacked. You can only attack the base from 9:30. So HQ went into the water from 9:30 till 10:30. But one morning, we had to go at 9:30. So they really went in fast into the lake to do the mission quickly, and they went out. And then the sniper shot them. So that was a little bit of, are you attacking the base? Yes or no? So that was a little bit of confusion, which could have been avoided by changing the correct timings here. Yes, first on Friday, we got it. Okay. So the FAD was only online on the Friday. Okay. Because our recon guys tried to find it and they were like, okay, we're just going to wait and we're going to take the FAD, but there was no FAD online. All right. That's all on this Miro board. We actually have a second planning Miro board where we plan more. To give you an idea on how our base defense was planned out, there we go. I'm gonna give it a little second so it's showing up for you guys also. We had a full map. We had a with firing positions, where patrols needed to go, where mines needed to be, where roadblocks needed to be, what were the points of difficulty of entry and stuff like that. So this was all prepared before setting foot on the base. No FAD until the airdrops. All right. Okay. Interesting. So we had that. Then there was another defense area map with areas that with distances, positions, difficult positions. So we were well prepared for defense. And then this is basically a planning tool where people could put, let me see here. this is how we practice things, because you can easily, it's locked probably, yes. You can easily move the post-its around if it's not locked. Okay, it's locked. You can easily move the post-its around and do like training and stuff on the Miro board. And that's why I really love Miro board. Good. Any questions? Anything you want to say about this? Otherwise, I can go to the next topic. I've been talking long enough now. All right. Silence. Good.
Raider perspective, I can say that's fucking impressive.
Thank you. It's hard work and trying to get familiar and adding new things every year, basically. But it's not rocket science. Somebody just needs to do it. Hold on. Cat Pain says he loved the fake HQ. Yeah, we like Red Side also made a fake HQ with like maps with wrong information on it, and we put like an HQ sign on the outside. Prolanite, he says, I've been to Berget 4 times, 3 times of them as blue team, and I have never seen this level of planning. And Local Alpha is asking, do you have an agenda you are going through? So my agenda is this. We have how people felt about this year, the prep work, HQ, basically this. And then next topic is I want to talk about the Saturday mission, trustee and other new rules, and then food on Berget. And then depending if you guys have any questions, we're gonna give it. This is your opportunity to ask questions to the nuns, to raiders, to blue side, and red side, of course. Any questions are here to answer. If you have like confusions and stuff, or things that like, oh, this was wrong, did you have a problem with this or a problem with that, we felt that this was going really bad, put it in the chat and we will go over it. I want to ask you about this game compared to the last one. And Makazi is saying Berget needs to answer faster. I understand. Comparison with last year. I'm writing it down to go over that quickly. I don't know why I say quickly. I never go over things quickly. I like to explain until everybody understands. So this is also an interesting one. We've been working on this for, well, it's mainly Rhythm and some other guys working on this. This is the Airsoft playbook. We send it out to all the players in red, but everyone can use this. This is what the purpose is, what the type of game is that we do. We're still working on this. How you prepare, like get fit seriously. The game will be so much more fun if you have a reasonable level of fitness. What you do if you arrive, you check all the steps that you do. What is the role of a base officer? What is the unit size that we use, like fire team, squads, platoon, companies, battalions? Those are the terms that are going to be thrown at you. So then it's good to know. So this is you're new and you want to know what is going on. So then we talk about briefing, how to do radio communication, your weapon setup, then a packing list. Like I also have one on my website where you can download my full kit list. You can just download it or watch the video to see what I bring and why I bring stuff. But this is also included in this part. Part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7, and then some random stuff. Magazines, put them everywhere because you need ammo as much as possible, and we're still adding stuff to it. One other thing that we did on site was we have a new player meeting. So everybody that's new to Berget, they need to go to the first timers meeting at our HQ, which I think every HQ should do. And we go over what is a CP, how to take a CP, what do we what is your expectation, what is our expectations of you. And that already includes it brings all the newer players that have no idea what's going on. that brings them like, okay, we know that we are in good hands, we trust those people, and we will follow what they do because they are taking care of us. If you don't do that and people are just sitting in a corner, have no idea what is going on, those people will go off to do something else. And that is why it's important to include everybody, especially new people. They will come back if they feel included. Local Alpha says the main issue for my teammates was that we played for 2 days in the same region of the map, even though it was huge. So despite the size of the map, the first we went was the Repa camp. Now, this was also because they cut off the area, basically, because there was nothing in the north except CP5 and 6. We only played in... can I draw? Yes, here. I think we only... Okay, I can make this bigger. Oh, that's a wrong color. We played in this area. Okay, visible enough. I think every unit played in this area. Also because the numbers were a little bit lower, it was good that they confined it to a smaller area where all the missions were. And last year, if you ask me like how was compared with last year we were this area. This was where we got stuck. I think Jimmy can confirm.
Oh, yeah.
So we saw a lot more of the map. And good evening, Diego. One problem I had that people didn't know what white-green armbands meant and shot us on sight. I explained, but he said he would shoot us on sight because he didn't know what the team we were fighting for. Ah, for fuck's sake.
Rules of engagement.
Just try to LARP a little bit, and you will find out.
Yeah. Yeah, you might get
Yeah,
knocked.
I'm guessing
yes.
from Repa's side, right? The rules of engagement, they were clearly stated before we had it out. Do not attack the civilians, only return fire. And they were questioned quite a lot. Are we allowed to shoot the civilians? No, and rules of engagement still stands. Shoot only if fired upon.
Yeah, and Local Alpha is chipping in that this is a communication issue. I agree. This should have been stated by HQ and then lower and like keep stating it because people forget and especially if people are new, they are not reading the rules and I think it was stated in the unit description if you go to the Berget website that unit is wearing a white green armband, but it's not stated in like the rules and stuff. So it is not easy to find it as a new player. Like people that come back to Berget year after year, they know like, oh, that's civilian, we don't shoot them. But for new people, I do understand it might be confusing. And Phoenix said it was stated in the blue meetup. Rob, I think the problem with the Raiders had the same armbands as civilians. Yeah, we did went over that a little bit because we have Niklas here from the Raiders that they had the problem with it was similar, so it was the same. So we treated them similar, but that was better for the Raiders, I think, because they had more freedom of trying to screw us over because we thought they were civilians. And the problem was as soon as they did something shady, the civilians paid the price for it, sadly. And
I mean, even
go ahead, Jimmy.
Even when the civilians knocked out, like you and other high officers, we didn't kill them.
No, we tried to
threaten them.
Yeah, we tried to understand why they did stuff. Maybe they had wrong information. Even when the nuns knocked me out 3 times, Angie.
Yeah,
3 times. We still like, okay, don't shoot them. They might are working with wrong information. They might be brainwashed by certain people. Let's make them understand that we are not here to hurt them. They didn't kill us. They were just like afraid of us. So they knocked us out and didn't know what to do, which is understandable if you are a peaceful society and suddenly there's a big armed force in front of your door. You do weird things. So we didn't shoot them. If they would draw a gun, we would shoot them. I think Angie got shot a few times, but we did get you back on your feet, I think. But I think the time you got shot, you deserved it, right?
I mean,
no?
maybe.
You're a little bit more in the distance now, Angie. Your microphone is a little bit far away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No
Can you
worries.
guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, you guys came in without, like, you didn't even knock.
Well, I do like the last time we got in, we also got like shot a lot from within the monastery. You were not on our side, so I am sorry, but you were in the way. And at a certain point, you're in the way. You hide. And
Yeah.
Bal also stated that it was stated at the big meeting on Wednesday afternoon, and I think that is wrong. If you do this on a meeting, on a big meeting, people are not listening. Your big meeting, if you're talking company or platoon, I think this should be a team leader task, a platoon leader task, to be like, okay, keep telling your people we don't shoot red and white. If they have questions, they should not come to HQ. It should be like the chain of command on questions also. I think Jimmy also, you told the people like, okay, green and white is friendly. Don't shoot them. It should not be like in a big meeting because nobody's listening. In the big meeting, we only want to... Antonio?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, interrupt. It's fine.
What I was going to say is that I made sure that my platoon at least knew the rules of engagement, and we had that in our little platoon meeting. Is that I let them know, okay, the nuns, here's our rules of engagement with the nuns. Self-defense only and keep everything civil. And so at least we made sure, me and my second in command made sure that at least that, for the most part, my guys or at least knew the rules of engagement.
And that's really good. And that's how it should be. And try to keep the information short for the big group, and then let the officers handle their people. Don't mingle in what their responsibility is. They will do it if you tell them what they need to do and you give them that responsibility. So it's really good to hear that those rules engagements were clarified. I think the nuns also, they didn't got murdered like sometimes we had with civilians, that if one force rolls in a town and they just murder the whole town because that was easy. Well, yeah, they don't have guns.
We had a few moments actually that some guy actually just randomly went like bang and killed one of the nuns. And he got to the point where he was walking of shame back home because I don't think he was informed that we were valuable.
They...
Yeah. So, yeah.
He was like, oh, this is weird. Bang.
Yep.
Sometimes I have questions, and I do understand that people sometimes react in a certain way. I hope he called for a medic and healed you up again.
Well, the thing is with the nuns, if you actually shot us, you're not able to heal us. So that character dies and you switch up. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so you're going to the forever life then, is it?
No, not forever life. That nun, specifically that nun that you killed, she won't ever come back again.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was important information for trying to figure out what happened and create the story. Oh, damn. I hope nobody... Jimmy, did you guys shoot nuns?
No.
I think Eagle shot all the nuns.
Yes.
The Finns.
Only Eagle.
You become Airsoft.
No, of course not. And if we for some reason did, I'm pretty sure it was in self-defense.
always. Okay. This was basically our full mission planning. If you want more information about this, send me a message and I can talk more. And there is a video online of Berget 18 planning, which is basically the same thing. We just added some more stuff into it. Yes, Tommy. Yes. I remember the nun that did see Jesus in everything.
Yeah. Sleeping deprived nun, and she saw Jesus and God in everything.
Okay.
And hallucinated.
Okay, maybe I should have shot that one then. So this is the planning. From what I read and I hear, the blue side, you basically had your Excel sheet with the information. You came on site, and then everything was arranged on site. Correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
At least that's from my understanding. Yes.
But Paul is also in the chat from Kenya, so he might also give a little bit of a insight in that. So we heard.
Yeah, I
that,
think he was company commander for Lima.
Yes, and then I met him a few times on site. We had a good conversation. We've been fighting each other for 3 years now, and it was the first time that we met on the field. So that was nice. Then I quickly want to talk about the Saturday mission, because for me personally, I want to push the Saturday. We need to keep playing on the Saturday, and apparently the nuns were eating shrooms in the forest and stuff like that. So people are, apparently that story went around pretty well because a lot of people heard about the nun seeing stuff. So interesting. The Saturday mission is, a lot of people come to Berget, and then suddenly they come home and like, oh, we went to Berget, really nice, and then they went home on the Friday. I'm like, this is not Berget. Berget is, you have to, you're gonna hear my dog drinking. The full experience is you come on site on Tuesday or whenever you arrive, and then it ends on Saturday at 3 in the afternoon. And everything in between is the full Berget experience. And this is, in my opinion, how you can fully experience Berget. And I know some people need to go home, family stuff and vacation days and stuff like that. But it also started to become a trend of like, oh, there are no missions on the Saturday. But the problem is, if there's no mission if there's no player staying on the Saturday, Berget doesn't know how to make missions on the Saturday. And if there's no missions, people will say like, oh, there's no missions on the Saturday. So for next year, everybody stays on the Saturday, and we have an amazing fight on the Saturday. Because we, like HQ just pointed out, we had 18 blue left and 3 yellows to play on the Saturday. My guys were ready at 8:30 to go out, and we had 50% left of Papa. That was about 50 people, 45, 50 people that were still going out. In total, Red had 109, 110 people ready to go out. Because of that, Berget needed to make a decision. Okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to solve this problem? So they said, this is the information that I got from RHQ, is, okay, we're going to focus all the energy on the monastery. So for people that are following, I'm going to open this up here. So we're going to focus all the energy on the monastery. Red is such a, I cannot change the color. It is what it is. And we heard that blue had a respawn of 5 minutes within the monastery, so we got that told. So if there's a weird respawn going on inside the monastery, that's because they changed the rule for blue. And this was communicated within Berget and commanders. So this was a plan that they made because of the low amount of people. So we sat down and we came up with the idea, you know what, let's just try to make them surrender, because they're going to be in the monastery and they're going to be outnumbered. So if they're in the field, they're going to die. That is going to be a boring fight. Let's give one last like LARP thingy and make them surrender. So we marched out with everything we had to the monastery from our base, and we completely encircled the monastery with everything we had.
To be honest, if I may,
Yes.
the thing why we didn't have any nuns at Saturday actually was because I hurt my shoulder and I fell into a rock. So I am sorry about that part. Otherwise, there would be nuns.
Apology accepted.
Thank you.
Anyway, I think for the nuns, it was quite clear, like the mission was over for you guys. You didn't really have something else to do. Still, I do believe that if you still had nuns left that wanted to play, they should have given you something to do, some mission, some easy stuff. Try to mingle, whatever. But so we went to the monastery, and it was nice. It was nice. Like, we had the bullhorn. We were yelling at the Hangman is saying, "Rock 1, nuns 0."
Amen.
And okay, that's you saying amen. Okay. And then we were standing there for like minutes, and then the monastery was empty, and I was like, for fuck's sake. And then we look
He
at
had he did have very good words though, Red, when he tried to convince them to surrender. Please send out the negotiator. I had this on video, and the famous last words was, "If I die, kill them all."
I know, and everybody was ready, and I think most of us hoped that they were gonna shoot.
Yep.
And everybody was like, come on, you got 4 minutes to give an answer. And I was like, for fuck's sake. And then that was a little bit of a disappointment. I think for a lot of people, it was a disappointment that, okay, there's nobody there. And then we look at the map, and suddenly everything is blue. So it meant that the blue players, they went CP hopping to get all the CPs back. But we were told, like, the monastery is the main thing. We're not focusing on CPs. We did focus on CP4 because that was going to be our respawn. Because if blue respawns in the monastery, we need to have a respawn close. So that's why we were looking for CP4. And we did have some contact at CP4. But we were like, okay, if they want to divide forces, that's fine. And then we tried to get all the CPs back. And then I think our commanders did a really good job on motivating the people. I do have like Jimmy doing a really good job on trying to motivate the people. Okay, you know what? We're going to kick them out of a country for the final time, and we're going to take back everything, and we're going to annihilate them. Let's take back the CPs and be done with it. And then everybody said, fuck yeah, we're going to do this, and they went out. And we divided the CPs. I think Eagle had CP1. The motorbikes had another CP. We had Papa Foot Soldiers had CP3. And our car went to CP6 to take that one back. Berget was already taking down CPs. So they were already like, okay, there's nothing going to happen here. Everything is in the center. So they took down CP6 and CP1. Lisa pressed an imaginary button. And then at CP5, we found my car, Papa 1-2, found had a small contact there. And that was the rest of the blue players getting annihilated by the red forces. Which was... I think the story ends with reprising control over Langoy again, and the coalition forces have been pushed out of the area. But everybody was hoping on that monastery shootout a little bit.
Yes.
I'm quickly gonna read chat. And Antonio, well, you were gone on the Saturday, correct? Did we lose Antonio?
He's muted.
No, it's
himself.
muted.
Okay, you're muted, Antonio, if you want to speak. And then Nicholas, Raiders were with us, correct?
Yeah.
We didn't trust you.
By taking
No, we
CP6 and CP5 at 3 in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah. And then you were waiting in our base. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we didn't trust you at all.
No.
We were like, okay, I think Papa was first, and then Eagle drove through our lines with the cars. And we were like, okay, we're going to be ambushed by those civilians. They're just going to run off and sit in the bushes, and they're going to just blast us. That was...
My guys were ready to fucking shoot everything in the way.
But not red, right?
I also gave the orders for my guys who was walking in the first line. If you see civilians before the monastery, just shoot them, just pop them. It's an ambush.
So we were ready for you.
Luckily, yeah.
And then Victor says, for being the first Berget, I think most of the things were great. One thing I want to do more next year is more LARP, but most of the time I was great in my opinion. So, like I said, the overall thing, there was a good feeling about a lot of things. A lot of things could have gone better. And that's why I also want to do this video, and we want to share this information so the future HQs they see like, okay, this is how they prepared. This might have worked better for the red team or for the blue team. Let's take this, like take that and put it in ours, and give the players a better time. Because this is why we are in a commanding role. This is why we are all here, all the commanding people, platoon command, company command. We want to give the people a really good time, and this is our responsibility. So if you can take something that I'm saying here, or that we are saying, or that you see, just use it. This is not rocket science. It's just an idea that we came up with along the years to work with airsofters, because they're not military people. Anything you guys want to add on the Saturday mission?
I can start, or yeah,
add. Go ahead.
I can add. I see Henrik right. Crew dropped all blue and yellow at CP5 for the Saturday fight. And that's it, some weird shit, because the crew said to Red that they would be at the monastery, and to close down the whole map for just one last fight is the biggest and best best way to do it when it's so little people fighting, so you don't are spread out on the whole map. Because if you see back last year and 2 years before, me and my guys were with the last guys from Red fighting against the last guys on blue both years. And like last year we were on the fishing village and everyone were there, and it was a really nice fight. And 2 years before this year we were at the bridge at CP6 fighting against the old Finnish boys.
Yeah.
And it was a really good fight. But this year something happened, something went wrong.
Yeah. And then it's not easy to come up with something, and for me it's interesting to figure out what went wrong, and was a crew giving the wrong places? Was it like, okay, you don't need to go to the monastery, you need to go to CP5 instead? So this is kind of what I want to figure out, and that's why I added it in here, because we have a lot of people here, and there's a lot of people in the chat that might have gotten information that was different than what we got, and this can only help to make it better next year. Okay, if there's only that many people left, make sure the communication is on point, that everybody exactly knows what the goal is, at least in HQ and in commanding officers. I also had a question from damn it, names. Thinking of Saturday though, how will you do that in a good manner? Personally, I have to drive for 12 hours to get home, and if I stay until Sunday morning, I have no time to recover for Monday work. So my solution, or my idea, would be don't stretch the Friday as long as they usually do. You can stop the fight at around 12, because then it's getting dark and then people are tired and it's getting really dangerous. Now it was a base attack, so it was a little bit easier, but last year there was a convoy mission which got really which got really dangerous at certain points, where people fell into holes and stuff and people getting tired. So then we also said, like why don't we start earlier on this mission? Instead of starting at 7, why don't you do like 2 in the afternoon and then go for a bigger mission? Which and also I'm not a fan of bigger missions. It should be a continuous mission up till the end. And then you don't have to wait until 10 or 11, because now at 11 people were like, okay, we need to start at the monastery at 11. But if you stop the game a little bit early on the Friday, or like the big thing, and then you just go for smaller missions, people can sleep and then get up at 7 and something and still go out like at 8, and then you can fight from 8 till 12. Instead of keeping it till 3, you make it till 12, and then you should have a little bit more time to prepare to go home. That would be my suggestion. But I do understand like long drives back home. I don't know. Do we have Antonio back? No, he's still muted.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I
Okay.
had to do some stuff for work,
No worries.
so I missed. I only heard a little bit about Saturday. At least they were talking about Saturday.
Because you also have a big flight or a big trip ahead of you.
Yeah. but also is that we kind of wish there was a little bit more push, at least from crew, to make Saturday more meaningful. It felt like it was Friday's the big fight. Like, it's the final fight. At least what we got from HQ is that, the final fight is attacking red base at 2100. And it's like, what do you mean? We still have half the day tomorrow. And so it didn't feel like Saturday was much of a push from either Berget Crew saying, we'll see how it is with missions and based off who's here, rather than, okay, Saturday is going to be a continued play until 3 o'clock with, I don't know, maybe being the last mission, the big final battle, either at the monastery or something, being around, I don't know, 11 or 12. So I wish it was a little bit more, at least set in stone, that Saturday is to be the last day for sure, and not having the final battle on the Friday night. At least that's my input in what a lot of the guys in my platoon felt like.
I do understand that, and that's one of the reasons why I really want to push for that Saturday. And it showed in Papa. Like, there's always people that need to go home. We had people leaving for like family emergencies and stuff like that. But like for me, Berget is up till Saturday until like it ends. And then I think Berget 13, there was a final mission on the Saturday, and then they start moving it till the Friday, and then more and more people stopped dropping off on the Saturday because the big mission was done. And then they didn't have any missions anymore, so more people dropped out. And now finally they're getting more missions again on the Saturday. And I'm like, okay, now it's our task as players to stay until the Saturday. Saturday is a game day. And I think it's a really big responsibility from HQ to be like, we're going to kick their asses on the Saturday. I think I kept saying this, like, on the Saturday, we're going to keep doing this. And I didn't say it once. I think Jimmy can confirm that. I was like, okay, Saturday, we're going to keep going. Saturday, we're going to wake up. We're going to wake up every morning. We're going to be ready at 8. Even on the Saturday, we're going to wake up at 8 or 8:30, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are now also talking about vacation days. That people should take a vacation day on the Monday. And Skinny also said that every HQ and crew knew about the monastery thing, that they discussed it together, and probably in a I don't know, we are not involved in the planning in that, but that's Red HQ talking.
Oh,
so apparently Blue knew about, Blue HQ should have known about the monastery attack. And then Ball, I usually have a group chat. So there was a group chat for HQ and crew then, where the final mission was discussed, if I read this correctly. And then we always have the beer party. So if you stay for the Sunday or the Saturday, there is the beer party, where it is really nice to sit down with people from both sides and just chill down. And then on the Sunday, we leave. Because I understand if you leave, if you have to go far and you have family and stuff, that an extra day is an extra day. But it should be, you go to an event. This is my opinion. You go to an event and you stay until the end of the event. So that is for the Saturday. Something anybody wants to add? Nope. All right. Then we quickly go to.
Just agree.
It's just
Like going to
just
the
agree.
movies, but you only see 10 minutes, then go home.
Say again, Niklas?
It's like going to the movies theater, and you only see 10 minutes of the movie, and you walk away.
Well, I think you stay for like 85% of the movie and you miss the ending.
Yeah.
So like, come on, guys. Then Sunday would be travel day instead of Monday. So people are still trying to arrange each other's travel schedules. It's funny. But yeah, the more we get the word out that Saturday is a game day, the more people that will stay. Okay, next thing that I want to talk about is the new thing that Berget introduced back, is that the Trustee System. I was one of the trustees for the Repa side, and I think I had to, so what we got, I don't know, Antonio, if you know about the Trustee System?
yes, I did, and you ended up coming to talk to my platoon about the healing on Wednesday night when we're still like a little confused on the rules on how exactly it works. Where you have to be heal like physically there. It can't be the medic heals you and then gets shot and you technically are still healing. No, like the medic needs to be fully alive the whole time.
Yeah.
So I know we cleared that up. So at least on this side of the lake, it's a little different in most of the events where you get healed and you still have your bleed out time or like your 2 minutes. Regardless if you like you get healed and then you wait and then it's like okay, regardless of what happens to the medic. But I think that's just a bunch of different people's like the way we read the rules is definitely a little it's weird. And so I did really enjoy the trustee system for stuff like that. Where you came and talked to us like, okay, let's talk about it, and then it was a civil discussion and it was great. And then for the next rest of the event, we actually people asking about medics, and then since you told us this is how it works and we read the rules again, we were able to inform more people about those rules. So I really like the trustee system, and it is amazing. I guess move back a little bit. I've been a ref for paintball and airsoft for about 4 years, not anymore so much, but during big events we would have, or even open play events, we would have some of the refs be kind of those trustee players, where we're playing the game, but we're able to talk to players not as a point of like authority. We're seeing more as like equals in a sense, where it doesn't seem like, oh, I'm telling you what to do. This is how it's done. So I really enjoy the trustee system.
Okay, it's good to hear that at least I did my part good. I didn't hear any other trustees if they needed to step up. I'm quickly gonna answer a question in the chat. Was the general game location ever changed to be closer to Stockholm? It's probably not going to be changed because there's a lot more land in north to do stuff like this. Back to the trustees. I know we had 4 trustees. I think 4 or 5 because one guy didn't show up that was to be assigned as a trustee. I know I had to step in like 6 or 7 times as a trustee. And I don't know about the others, so that's why I'm asking like if you have any other experiences. But apparently, Peter had me as a trustee stepping in. Antonio had me as a trustee stepping in. I think Bal had me stepping in. And I was also close to HQ when there was a problem with Scylla, her truck, where I stepped in to just clarify stuff. And then Bal is saying that the trustee player that was on the blue side, he's always in a squad that goes rogue all game long. I think trustee players should be where the bulk of players are usually fighting. True. We had a discussion, we had a talk about that. Who can be a trustee? And that is a very difficult question. Because I know myself, I'm very familiar with the rules. And I'm actually working on a rule book system that is a little bit more different, where you have like a short description next to the rule. So if you want to find the information, it's easy findable. There is like an alphabetical term index at the end. So if you want to go chrono, you know it's 12 and then it's alphabetical. So I'm working on that. So I know the rules pretty well. The problem is that you need to know the rules pretty well. And I don't know how many people that know the rules that good. I also make mistakes. I'm not saying that I know everything. Like there's a lot of numbers and stuff in it and timings that can be a little bit different and weird rules. But like you said, Antonio, it is at this moment, there is somebody that there is no point of this having a discussion with the other person. Like he's a little bit standing like above you at that moment and like, okay, guys, calm down. We're gonna just take out the rule book and we're gonna fix this here. And to be a trustee, you need to be calm. You need to be able to make educated guesses, not educated. You need to what's the word that I'm looking for? You need to make good decisions in a way. And I think I did a good job. For example, Peter had a problem with people not taking their hits, and the first thing that you need to check is can they actually hit that person on that area? So I just went where the person was sitting, and I asked to Peter on the radio, okay, shoot my backpack. And the first BB hit my backpack like center. So okay, that problem was out of, there was no question about this. And then we tried to find the persons, but then suddenly people started taking their hit when they see yellow jackets. I'm not saying that they didn't take their hit. It was just like there was no problems anymore. Hit taking is always a difficult one. But what I found interesting as a trustee is that how fast it goes. I think the problem with the hit taking at the monastery, I was there within like 5-10 minutes. I commandeered a ATV vehicle, and they drove me up there with a yellow jacket. With the medic problem, I was there. That was just a coincidence that I was there because that was a smaller group. But it is important to be a person that, like you said, Antonio, that is somewhere in the area. And as a company commander, I had the time to do it because my company was working. I didn't have to think a lot on site. So I could step out. I had a good 2IC. I had a good backup. I had a good RTO to fall back on that. But you cannot take a company commander that doesn't have that support system and then be like, okay, you need to go check that way and leave your company alone. If you take a soldier in a squad, then he will not always have the oversight, and it's also difficult to pick him out and go somewhere. So it is I like the idea, and I'm very curious on how it's going to be adapting and for bigger games like this. But I do think that most of the people liked it. Let me quickly check. We used the system in blue. If 3 or more players gave us a name, we put that person as a trustee, but it's hard to know every player. Who is a trustee? So apparently for blue, it was people were put forward by other people, which I don't like that much. That's a personal opinion, because I think you should quiz your trustee as an HQ. They should come to you and be like, okay, we're going to quiz you about the rules. We're going to see how we're going to handle it in a certain situation. Because you do get some power. And people in power is not a good combination, especially when things are getting heated and stuff like that. And then Local Alpha asked, like, who is a trustee? Is it who is a trustee or what is a trustee? If it's a trustee can step in if there is a discussion. If there is something going wrong, they can call in a trustee. He can put on a jacket, and he basically has authority as Berget Crew would have authority. And then he needs to resolve the situation. That's basically it. And then the who is, it gets chosen by HQ. I think Red HQ made a decision on the people that they knew that were going to do a good job. And then Blue, they use a different system. And I don't know how Yellow did it. Well, Crew told us the trustees were going to get questions by Crew and get a small education as a trustee before game on. Huh. And we trust Berget in doing things like that? Let's not go there. So that is the trustee system, and I really like the system. I like being it. I like doing it, but it is an extra responsibility. No. There was no questioning about the rules. But you can take up the responsibility as a commander yourself. If you put people in place that are your trustees, make sure that they are educated enough and can handle situations like that. That would be my take on it.
Yeah. From my point of view, speed is also of the essence, otherwise people will rage quit more or less if it takes 2 hours for Crew to arrive.
Yes.
You took, 8 minutes or something, and then the fighting still goes on, and then it can be resolved and everyone can move on with their stuff, essentially. So I think speed is definitely of the essence.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And it's also, even you can't really do much about the cheating problems and people calling hits and not calling hits. If you've been playing Airsoft for a while, you know that it is very very difficult thing to check and control. As soon as you have people there, people will start paying more attention. It's not that they intentionally not feel the hit. It's like sometimes, a questionable one, you should take it, but then you don't. And then, but as soon as there's somebody with a yellow jacket in the vicinity, you suddenly start paying attention on the rules again. And I do understand like people are tired, and it just goes in the back of the head, and the adrenaline starts pumping. But now it was like, okay, there is a discussion, and like Peter says, 8 minutes later there was a yellow jacket on site, and then starting questioning people and just standing behind people, not giving away their positions, but standing behind the people and just following up. And then if nothing happens, you just go away again. But if the person was cheating and not taking his hits, that must be like a very difficult thing to cope with. Like, okay, he's not taking his hits, and then 8 minutes later there's a person with a yellow jacket standing there. That is weird. Okay, maybe I'm gonna start taking my hits now because they are really having an eye on me. It's a psychological thing, and I think it works really well, but you can only do that if the speed is there. And local alpha, I'm not agreeing if somebody's not taking his hit and make him take his hits, because you don't know what might be happening in the way that you are shooting. I have seen so many things that, yes, I do understand there's people that are not taking hits, but there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of like moments where people think that they're hitting people, and then suddenly they start being very aggressive, but not only to that player, but for example, the whole squad, because, well, it's his squad and he should be accountable for things. If you have a problem, call it out. Talk to your squad leader. Go to that person, write down his armband number. You don't need to talk to him. You just need to ask, like, okay, can I have your armband number? That's it. And then let the people that need to resolve it. Don't take up the justice in your own hands and go rogue and blast his face because he didn't took his hit. He might have not felt it. You might have hit leaves, and the small percentage of people that are not taking their hit, that's the bad apples. But 99% of the people at Berget, they just want to have fun and play the game as it's supposed to be played. And I think I'm a good example of that, because Henrik shot me point blank, and I saw that his pistol didn't completely cycled. I didn't feel a hit. I didn't hear a hit. So I'm like, I don't know. So I then shot, and then he said, okay, I saw the BB bouncing. I was like, okay, no problem. So there's always stuff that you that happens. And yes, safety distance is very important. And I did talk to a lot of people about safety distance. There is a reason why I play with CQB guns, because I know my playstyle. I know how dense the woods get. People forget about the 10 meters really easily. And then the cars are shooting from way too close. So again, if you see that it happens, write down the car number and then make a complaint to HQ or to crew, and they will make a list, and then they can be talked about. But you need to have that number or player card number to be able to do that. And there is a lot of close proximity shooting. It was very clear about my gunner. So safety distance is always one of the things that are very important. And if you're not sure, if you have new people coming, give them a CQB gun. Don't give them a 10 meter. I got shot with, I think it was Baal's guys that I ran into the woods and they shot me because, well, and it was 10 meters and it was like 5-6 meters away. He apologized. I was okay with it, but don't do it if you're not sure.
I do have to give one of the blue guys that had a car, I have to give him credits, because when the raider actually, they were taking the nuns to the blue team, and we had this big turret on the roof on the car, so now I was like, what's the safety distance on this thing? And he was like, well, 10-15 meters. So technically, if I knock you out at blue camp, I could take this one. And he was like, yeah, but it's not a small thing to do because you can hurt a lot of people. And yeah.
That's a good thing to say. And that communication is very important. At least he knew also his safety distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to do it. Oh my lord.
I think you got shot. Was it you that got shot with the most low power pistol in the whole game? The 3D printed one?
Yes.
All right. So trustees, I liked it. There were some other rules that were new, but I didn't wrote them down. Trustees was for me the biggest one because I do wanted to have like a few opinions about the trustee system. Because my 2IC didn't like it that I fucked off to do something else. I was like, you have the company, bye. So, but that's on my part. Good. And we had one more thing, but we're not gonna go over that because we have been going on for 2 hours. I see that people are still having fun, but I can go on for hours and hours and hours. So we're not gonna do that. I had one more. It's food on Berget because I want to talk to Bal about that, but he's not here. We're both people that should eat more, and we have people that force feed us. So I do want to thank Jimmy for asking me if I ate, which I did, but not enough. And I do want to thank all people that put food in my mouth because I do forget to eat. And as soon as I had the chance, I just ate as many calories as possible in one go. When having a 1 joule limit for all assault rifle troopers solve the problem securely, at the same time that would make special roles such as DMR, snipers, and LMG more important. I do understand why they have the assault rifle class because of the woods. The distances are longer than in your normal games, so I do understand why CQB is like but I'm used to playing with lower power rifles, and I just get a little bit closer. It's like people just need to start wearing like their own responsibility for the stuff that they're bringing to the game. And if they think they're gonna make a mistake, don't do it. Just bring a CQB gun, and then you can basically, you don't need to think about it. So the food thingy, again, I need to make a patch about that. There is a video about my full ration pack, my schedule from 2 years ago, which I also didn't follow, by the way. Before people start putting in the chat, hey Rob, did you follow your food schedule? No, I didn't. Okay, we're over that. I didn't. And then things to avoid, and yeah, so there's a full video. Wait, where is the video?
Video about that.
Yeah, I have a video about that, but the video is not showing up. Video link coming on Monday. Okay. I need to update my I need to update this. Okay. I will update that for you. And that was the most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. And most of the questions that came into the chat, we answered that. There was one more that asked like the comparison with last year. For me personally, this year was awesome. And mainly because of how the company worked. Because of the A and the B unit, the energy was good. The people were happy. We were not stuck on the bridge. The bridge part is not the worst part. Is people not being able to keep going, and the unbalance within the teams created frustration, and that's the reason why I didn't really like last year, even though it was fun. I had fun. Hold on. I feel like question about game time wasn't answered, as in would be possible to have the game start on Tuesday and end on Friday. Okay, I'm gonna add that in that game time. So comparison with last year, this year was better. I did miss some more LARPing because I noticed that there was like the shop. I missed that one. The gun dealer, what to do with the money that like the raiders. Nicholas, were you able to do something with the money this year?
Buy drugs.
And then apparently give to the nuns, so they starting to see all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the other teams too.
So, but like last year, if you got in-game money, I think it was sponsored by Tactical Store, that you could buy like real pistols and TNT for in the game.
I think you could buy TNTs this year but we didn't look it up.
Yeah, and Prolonality that I cannot. He said, I ended the game with over $100 and nothing to spend at all game aside from the car wash.
Like last year and this year, we had the most money in game after the game. Last year we took a Blue Team's HQ and put a bounty on $1,000.
Mm.
Yeah, on
This year we
Blackberry.
had 1,400 when the
Okay,
game ended,
nice. That's really nice. But
and 16 bags of drugs.
but then if you cannot do anything with it, so I would say there needs to be a little bit more story coming from the civilian side, LARP side, and be incorporated in the full storyline, and smaller missions coming into HQ. Do something with the money, so everything you do actually makes sense that you do. I'm quickly gonna read. There was nothing to do with the money, blah blah blah. Yes, there's nothing to do with the
Maybe
money.
introduce more LARPers to the actual Berget.
If you have contact with LARPers, I would
do.
say yes. I talked to Berget about it, and also everybody that is here, put it in your survey. Like, we want more LARP, we want more people to interact with, we want smaller missions and stuff like that. Put it in your survey. If nobody's filling it in, Berget doesn't know. So really, fill in the survey and put it in there. And then somebody said about the Swiss guys. They had about 2 kilo of chocolate in their battle belt. Yeah, I got some chocolate of those guys. That was really really good chocolate. But last year you got fight through the most part of the map. Local alpha. I will let Jimmy answer that. Jimmy, did we fight on the whole map last year?
Did we cross the bridge?
A few times.
But I mean, yeah, I think we only came to where the monastery were one time at the yellow base at the end of the day, like Tuesday.
Just to fuck them up.
Otherwise, we just got to where our base were this year. We never went more south than that.
No, exactly. So no, we played on a whole different area this year, which was good for most of the pop-up people. Your videos are the testimony. Yes, more videos are coming from last year. I'm working on it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. There was one more question that was in the chat. The game time. I don't have any access. I cannot control that. But again, put it in the survey for Berget. I don't think they're gonna change it because it is, for a lot of people, it is a good time. They might start a little bit earlier on the Wednesday. That should be possible, and then stop on the Saturday noon at 12, for example. But then would there still be people going out? I think I would still go out, and then we'll get early. So there's a few changes that they should do to be able to change the timings a little bit. And then Mika joined the chat. Why did the chicken cross the road? I mean, Reproc crossed the bridge. Because we tried and died. Same people, 70% leaves on Friday. Yeah. So we need to make sure that they stay. And if you're going to stay, more people are going to stay. That's basically what. If there's still some really nice things to do, and if we have like the main, like a really cool thing on the Saturday, people are going to stay. I'm pretty sure about that. And that was all the points that we needed to talk about. So yeah. Are you joining next year, guys?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
But next year is gonna be on a team.
Oh, damn. Antonio.
I wanna shoot more.
I'm sorry, Antonio. I didn't see that you were in the other chat.
Oh, that's all right. I had a nice conversation with someone from Norway. He stopped in and said hi, so we talked a little bit about his play style and everything.
Yeah. He's a really nice guy.
Good community.
So we're rounding up because we've been talking for over 2 hours now. And
wow.
Yeah. It is. I really like this, and this is actually what happens on the beer party after the game. Those stories come out, and they're like, "Oh, we did this.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome." And that's why I want.
Yeah, we stuck around for a little bit for the after party, and then we went and had our own little after party, speaking like highs and lows within our squad and what we can work on.
Yeah. So more people staying on the Saturday. That's like, this is what we need to do.
Yes.
About the LARP, yes, in the past it was 50% of the ticket price, I think, for LARPers. So again, put it in the survey so we have more LARPers so they can come in on a cheaper price. Hangman, I will put it in the survey that Bergen needs a special event on Saturday so people stay. Yes, do that. We will bring back our people smuggling skills for next year. Yes, do that. May the serpent, God bless you all, and you burn in hell. I took a selfie next to the radio tower in full view of Red Base and 2 red people there on Thursday, and then sold the selfie to the blue team. Now the stories are getting out. Just keep it going. Also use the Berget Discord. Share the stories there. And as soon as more news is out, jump on it again, because I'm really looking forward to next year. This next year is going to be my 10th edition. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to next year to be my 10th and new. Hopefully, oh yeah, there was a question about the new area. There was if you read
I sort of know the new game area.
Say again?
I sort of know of the new game area already.
Yes, but there's still there is nothing signed yet, so we don't know yet. But they do say that there's gonna be a new game area in the text that
new area is fucking amazing.
Close to Sollefteå, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be close in the area. So it's gonna be in the same area. Travel wise, it's not gonna be that much different. There's a lot of nice areas in Sollefteå area. I'm very curious about the storyline. I'm very curious about the new teams, the new. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff that needs to come because there's new patches, there's new logos, everything is gonna be new. There's gonna be not Igoris anymore. It's not gonna be Langoy anymore. It's gonna be all different things. I'm really looking forward to that. We've been doing this for 3 years. We kicked out the coalition forces. We destroyed the resistance. We do have a few nuns that see all kinds of stuff, and the raiders can stay because they were super friendly and helping us. So yeah, I hope everybody is as excited as I am for next year's Berget.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'm very excited. I hope the nuns do make some form of comeback.
Oh, you want to feel the stabber?
We need you. We need you, Angie. We need you.
Would you like to get stabbed? 2 for 1?
No, don't stab.
Stab? No, thank you.
I will bring my helmet, just not to be knocked. So yeah,
well,
I think we could go on for hours and hours to talk about stories, and I will be working on the videos as soon as I'm done with Bergen 20 and Bellum 2024. Then I'm gonna start working on the Bergen videos. I do have a lot of fun footage. The teaser was already out. I had a lot of good stuff about the teaser because I was more in the front. Sorry, Jimmy. But I really had a good time, and I really want to thank you guys for being here. The chat is still going. I hold on. Can you ask about Berget and the Lost and Found? There is a chat in the Lost and Found. Makazi, if they answer your emails, hopefully they will do that more faster. Cult of Gunnar, sure, let's bring that back. Let's merge that with the nuns. That would be awesome because Cult of Gunnar is Angie. Talk to Makazi, he will explain that. I get to stay. It is left to your camping place, and red and blue will fight together against the old. No, we don't do that. We give them a chance. He gave us it for free. We repaired his car. Blah blah blah. Also paid $400 for the wrong red person, so I'll take it. Okay, there's a lot of stories coming in now. We were very scared the nuns would take over our tow and MG on our flanking run. Haha. We kept checking the back and the truck to see if you knocked our guys out. It was fun. I wasn't so take it blah blah blah. It was so tempting. So we sold Scarecrow as skinny bitch. Well, good try. And hopefully HQ also now finally realizes that it's a bad thing not to handcuff me and put people with guns close to me if you want to interrogate me. Don't do that again. Well, please do that again, because that was really fun. But yeah, I want to thank Antonio from Platoon Commander. I want to thank Angie as the nun. I want to thank Peter for Eagle Command, Nicholas for Raiders, and Jimmy for being my something platoon something commander. We need to find a word for that. My bitch or something.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Any final words from you guys?
May the serpent god be with you.
Okay. Antonio.
Bless you, my child.
Okay.
I want to say hello to everybody, I guess, that's watching and bye. And I want to thank you personally, because if it wasn't for you, I would not have known about Berget. And watching your videos for about 6 months just to prepare myself for it. So I just want to thank you personally.
Welcome. You're welcome. And I hope the videos helped a lot with all the stuff that I shared. And hopefully...
Oh, they did. They did.
That's really nice. That really means a lot to me, because that is exactly why I want to make these videos. I want to show how it is, and I want to bring the experience to the people as it is. I don't want to make like a hyped up video. I want to show how it is. So if you come to Berget, it's exactly that, and you're not disappointed with expectations. So I'm really happy. That's really
you
nice.
Make Berget your own.
I will keep doing that. I will keep making videos, and yes, more videos are of course coming as soon as I have the time to make them. Then Peter, any last words?
Well, no, I guess Antonia said a lot of the good stuff. Me too watched the videos, not for this year, but way in the past as a company commander, inspirational, to put it that way. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I guess it makes everything easier since you have been through it. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for all the participants and the good sportsmanship and everything. It was a really fun experience. It was very few annoying moments. Otherwise, it's a great experience.
Awesome. Very nice to hear. Niklas, any last words?
Well, thank you all for coming, making this year a good one.
That's what she said, but
yeah.
Thank you very much. Anything you want to add? See, that's why we need to end the video, because I'm getting tired and then my brain is not working anymore. Jimmy, any last words?
No, I think everyone has said everything. It was a nice year. We hope to see everyone and see much more people next year. I hope the teams will be green and purple instead of blue and red.
No.
Just to see where people land.
No.
But yeah.
I want to have
nice year.
I want 10 red ones. That would be awesome. Maybe we're going to change. We'll see how the preparation will go. And apparently Yog is telling that Jimmy is awesome.
Yeah.
And you're very welcome. Thank you very much, Jimmy. I want to thank everybody here that participated in the voice. Wolf had to go, unfortunately. Ball, thank you for getting the people here. I know you're in Kenya, far away. Thank you very much for getting here. Antonio, thank you for being here with that time difference. Thank you everybody that had questions in the chat and were here to follow this along. And yeah, I want to wish you a very good evening, and we see each other really soon, hopefully next year. Fighting. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, now I need to end this, but you can still stay here for a little bit.
Okay, good. I love that the nuns actually did so much imprinting on everybody. That's making me
It was
happy.
great. When you guys came to bless my squad, I wanted to take a video of you guys coming up to me, but I was like, I have to be respectful. So like, I was trying to hide my phone so you guys wouldn't get filmed. Like, what happens if they see me filming? That they might like crucify me or something. I'm like, oh no, I gotta be respectful.